I've always been more of a sword guy when it comes to playing Minecraft, though everyone I know tends to prefer axes. Which leads me to think, why? Am I just biased since I grew up playing this game for a very long time and swords were better before? Am I stuck with Hypixel, living in Minecraft's past? Which, let's be real, the game was a lot of fun before, but that's not necessarily the game's fault either. We've definitely grown as people since Minecraft came out. You probably aren't the same person you were in 2012, and neither is Minecraft. The game has still definitely improved a lot along with us. Anyways, there's a lot to consider when thinking about swords and axes. We'll start with resources, including speed and damage. Starting with wooden axes and swords, I don't think anyone really uses either, so I'll honestly just skip those. Starting with stone, axes do 9 damage, where swords only do 5. It's quite the difference. However, the sword has a speed of 1.6, where axes have a speed of 0.8. If you do the math here, the sword can do 2 hits, while the axe can only finish up just its first full swing. The sword will have done 10 damage, while the axe had only done 9. On top of that, the axe will cost another cobblestone and another stick as well, making it overall better to just get a sword. At iron, swords do 6 damage. Axes remain at 9, but the speed will increase slightly, now at 0.9. Sword speed is the same as well. Sword is still faster by 0.7, doing 3 less damage than an axe per hit. This one's tougher because I'm not actually the best at math. I could have been lying to you this whole time, and I still don't actually know. It just made sense in my head, and there's no way for me to knowingly fix it. Maybe check my math after this if you don't trust me. This is just a silly video on the internet. The higher we evolve on the resource scale, my conclusion comes down to it's really just personal preference. Axe increased speed and is up to 1, sword increased damage and is now up to 7. Axe damage remains at 9. Resource wise, I would say sword is better still. 2 damage could technically be life or death, but so could that 0.6 extra speed. However, axes will cost you an extra diamond and an extra stick. Swords are definitely cheaper. Do with that what you will, point goes to swords. Now, we also have enchantments. For swords, we have Bane of Arthropods, Fire Aspect, Knockback, Looting, Mending, Sharpness, Spite, Sweeping Edge, and Unbreaking. Of course, we also have the Curse of Vanishing enchant. Some of these apply to most things, so, for example, Curse of Vanishing, Mending, and Unbreaking. For axes, we have Bane of Arthropods, Efficiency, Fortune, Sharpness, Silk Touch, Smite, Unbreaking, Mending, and also Curse of Vanishing. So axes are made for deforestation and killing the economy. You'll notice a lot of these enchants are made more for cutting down trees. In combat, you're not typically worried about, cutting down trees. Some of the enchants are the same, sure, but if you added sharpness to a sword, wouldn't that make it better than an axe? I suppose you could do the same with axes, but, In conclusion, I think they're best at what they are made to do. According to this video and a bit of research and messing around, swords do seem to be better. It all comes down to personal preference in the end, it seems. I think I'll always be happy with swords in the same way that other people will be for axes. Swords also can damage more than one thing at once, which might be seen as either an upside or a downside. Fully depends on what you're trying to do. For combat, I will say swords seem overall better than axes, where axes are definitely better for destroying our planet and cutting trees. In the end, I hope you enjoyed this little argument on why swords are kind of better than axes, or maybe you found it slightly helpful. might have been boring to do because, whoa, statistics. But also maybe let me know if this was helpful and you want more videos like this. See you cool kids in the next one.